Hello students, good day. In today's session we are going to learn how to create data frame with CSV and text files. So far we have created data frame with a list, dictionary and series. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to create data frame with CSV files. So before that we have to know what is a CSV file. Okay, so CSV stands for comma separated value. Okay, so this is the example of this file. Okay, so here you can see each value is separated by comma. Okay, so this is called a CSV file, and so if you read this file, what happens, every line will be taken as rows. So first this one is row and each value separated by comma is taken as column. Okay, so if you read this one, you can take 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, there are 5 columns and how many rows? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 rows. Okay, so this way we can create the CSV files. So all values you can separated by comma, and if you want the next row you have to type the next line. Okay, press the enter key and type the next line, and when saving the file don't forget to give the extension .csv. Okay, normally if you can take a notepad and you can make the file, and while saving this one the file will be saved as .txt file by default. Okay, so you have to save it as .csv file. Okay, so this is called comma separated value file. And so how did I make this one? So as you know, we collected your details, right? You collected your forms, Google forms, right? You responded by my Google form. So those results I have collected, and if I made it as a CSV file. Okay, so here I can have all those responses can be collected as a CSV file. So I just downloaded this file. Okay, and I saved this file in desktop. Okay, so this is my file. Okay, so we are going to see how to read this file and how to create a data frame out of this file. Okay, right, so what is the method? So here we have the method called read_CSV. So PD is a identifier, PD.read_CSV. Okay, and open bracket, what are the parameters? The first parameter is the file name. Okay, you have to provide the file name, and then these are all the additional optional parameters, right? So skip rows, header, names, and then use calls. Okay, so let's see, file name, the name of the file, right? And if the CSV file is in the same working directory or folder, you can just write the name of the file. If not, we can specify the location as follows. See, Python is stored in some directory, right? If you are storing your CSV file in the same directory, then you can directly mention the file name. Whatever your file name, you can directly mention. Or if you are creating any subdirectory inside this one, then you can use the slash and you can give your relative path to that one. Okay, and if you are not storing your file in the directory where the Python program is stored, okay, then you have to use R before this one. Entire file name you have to give, entire path name you have to give. Okay, this is called absolute path, right? The full path name you have to give, and then before that you have to use a character called R. Okay, this says the complete data is raw, the complete string is read as raw string. Okay, because we have backslash character, right? So backslash T, backslash U, so all those special characters are there in Python, right? So backslash T represents a tab space. So if you are simply using the backslash without this R, so this will be translated as some special characters. So we want to tell the compiler that this is not the special characters. We have to take it as a raw string. So that's what you have to mention the R before the path name. Okay, so this one you have to remember. So if you are just giving mark.csv, that means mark.csv you are using in the same location, then you can directly use mark.csv. If you don't store your file in the same location, if you are storing somewhere outside, then you have to give the full path name. While giving the full path name, you have to use the character R to mention this is the raw string. It has to be translated as a raw string. Okay, so then the next one is skip rows. This skips the number of rows. Okay, so if you give skip rows equal to 3, first 3 rows will be skipped. Okay, so the file will be read from the 4th line, right? It can be a list also. So skip rows, you can give a list of values, so you can specifically mention which row to be skipped. So you can give 1 3, so 1 and 3 will be skipped there. And header information, so default is 0, the first line will be taken as column names. So here you can see the first line, all the CSV files, the first line will be automatically taken as a column names. Okay, this is the default setting. So if you don't want the first line to be the column name, you want to make it as a data, then you can use the header and you can set it as a none. So if you set header as none, then the first row also, first line also taken as a row value. Okay. So next we have names. So to give alternate column names. So here we have name English physics, right? You want to read the file and you want to give some other name for this column, you can give it as using this names keyword. And then we have use calls. So this use calls is used to read particular column from the file. So this file contains some 5 columns, right? If you want to read specifically any 2 column from this file, then you can use it using the use calls. Okay. So let's see this parameter with an example. Okay. So this is my program, right? The first statement, I'm importing a pandas module. Then I'm using a object called data. I'm using pd.read CSV. See, look at this one, where I stored my mark.csv file in a desktop. Okay, so but this Python program is stored in the path C:python 3632 and data frame 8. This is the absolute path. Okay, this is the path where this current program is stored. Okay, so if you are storing your file marks.csv in the same folder, then you can directly mention. So since I stored in the desktop, I am giving the complete path name and I am mentioning it as raw string. Okay, or then inside the double quotes you have to give the full path name. So simple, that's it. I didn't mention any other parameters. I'm just passing the file name alone for this one. Okay, right. So the next one, I'm printing this file. Forget about all these lines, we will explain all these things later. So only 3 lines, importing, and we are reading from the CSV file and we are just displaying the data. Okay, so let's run this. Right, so all your files read and it is created as a data frame. So the first line is considered as a column name here, and then all the lines are read, and then the index, automatic index is created here, right? So it's very simple to create a data frame from the CSV files. So this one is very useful in data analytics, right? So data, we are collecting large amount of data from the customer. So this is the main thing in AI data modeling. This is called big data. Right, so you have your mobile, right? So in your mobile you have a lot of applications, right? So each application you are giving permission to read your contact, to read your gallery, so all those information, to access to your camera, all those details you are giving. That means you are providing data for that particular application. So all your application will be stored there, right? So how do they analyze your data, right? So they are converting all those data into, we can easily convert all those data into data frames and we can do some analysis here. So this is not possible in our traditional RDBMS, right? So in our MySQL, so it's very simple to create data from over here, but if it is a MySQL, then each and every line you have to feed it. Okay, so this is very useful in data analytics. That's why from the first introduction also we said, so this is mainly used for data analytics. Okay, data frames and Python pandas module is very helpful to create the data, to make data analysis very easier, right? So simply we can create the data frame using this one. So let's explore all the other parameters. The first parameter is called, we'll use the none first one. Okay, okay, skip rows. So skip rows, so equals to, I'm giving 2. Okay, so here first 2 rows will be skipped. Okay, so you can see the output from ESKT, it read. Okay, and the indexes are replaced with 0, 1, 2, 3. So from the file itself, it takes only 4 values. Okay, it skips the first 2 records and reads the remaining records. So here in skip rows, you can give the specific columns. For example, if you want 1 and 4 to be skipped, you can give. Okay, so you have to pass a list. So first record and then 4th record will be skipped. So Hem Keshav and then Mega. So remaining all those records are displayed here. Okay, so this is what skip rows. And then next we have header. Header equals to, you can place it as none. So that means the first line also considered as a data value. Okay, so you can see it here. So the row starts with 0, 1, 2, 3 and this name English, Physics, Chemistry is taken as a data. It is not taken as a column name. Instead, it gives the column name, default column name 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is what header. Right. So I am removing this skip rows now, and header also we can remove. So next one we have use calls. Okay, so use calls is read to specific columns from the file. Okay, so I want only name and physics. Okay, so name and then physics column alone can be fetched from the whole file using the use calls. Okay, so this read CSV has lot of parameters. So we discuss some 3 to 4 parameters, right? So this is what this is how we can read data from a CSV file. So next one, how to read data from text file. Okay, so text file is normally .txt, right? So how to read data from that one? So we have read table and we can also use it with the read CSV file. Okay, so the thing we have to give extras here, the delimiter. So delimiter is the character which separates each column value, each value. Okay, so that is called delimiter. So you can specify the delimiter, whether it is a space or tab or semicolon or whatever the special characters, you can specify the delimiter. Then all the other parameters are same, skip rows, header, all those parameters are same. Okay, so let's run this. We have one more program for this one. Okay, so this is my program. Okay, so this one reads the file from details.txt. Okay, so here I have given just the file name because I stored the file in the same location. So let's see the file first. Okay, I have C drive. So inside the C drive, Python 3632. Here I stored the file called details. So here you can see I stored the file. Okay, so this is my details.txt. Right, so this is my file. Okay, so I just stored some values, Kamal, semicolon, some numbers, semicolon, some numbers, semicolon, and some character, string values. So I developed some, I have some 3 records. So each value is separated by semicolon. Okay, so this is my txt file. So now I am going to read this file and I am going to convert this file into data frame. Okay, so here you can see the file name I have given. Okay, and then comma, delimiter is a semicolon. So there each value is separated by semicolon. So you have to specify the delimiter semicolon, and I am using the parameter called names. Okay, so this one to give a name to a particular column. Okay, so all those values will be read and then it will be displayed under the column name, height, weight, and then eye color. Okay, so this is not given in the text file. So this is the difference between CSV file and then text file. In CSV file, the first row will be automatically taken as a column name. Okay, here we don't have that one. So because we are creating only text file, so we can give the explicit column name like this one. Okay, so you have to use the parameter names and you have to use the list. Okay, so let's run this one. Okay, so all the values are read and it creates a data frame with the column names, name, height, weight, and then eye color, right? And okay, for example, we have the text file. Right, so we'll open the text file again. Okay, so this is my text file. Now, instead of this semicolon, I am going to change it as space. Okay, so I am going to replace all the semicolon with space. Okay, so now everything is replaced with space. I am going to save this file. So what is the delimiter now? The delimiter is space. So you have to give space over here. Instead of semicolon, you have to give the space. And you can run this one, you will get the same output because now the delimiter is space. So like this you can create the text file and you have to specify the delimiter and each value will be taken as a column value for the given data frame. Okay, so the next one we have some attributes. So this is all about creating the data frame. So we know comfortably how to create the data frame, and then next we are going to learn some attributes of the data frame. Okay, so we have some attributes like series. So we have series attributes, right? The same attributes we have it for the data frame also. Okay, we have index, columns, access, data type, size, shape, values, empty, end dimension, and then T. So we will see all these things. So this is the program. So here we are going to display all the attributes of the data frame. The first line is index. Okay, so data dot index. You have to use it with the data frame name. So here data frame is data. Data object is object name for data frame is data. We have to use it data dot index. So this displays all the index values. Okay, and data dot columns displays all the columns, all the column names. Okay, and data dot access. So this access displays both index and then column. That means row index and then the column index. Okay, and D types. So look at this. This is not D type. It is D types because we have varying data types, right? So it displays all the data types. And data dot size. It displays the number of elements in the data frame. And shape, what is the dimension, whether it is 6 by 2, 6 rows, 2 columns. So it displays the shape. Okay, and then values, it displays all the data values. And empty, it checks for is empty, whether the data frame is empty. If empty, it returns true value. And then it displays the dimension, end dimension. And then okay, let's forget this one, set option. Then transpose, data dot T. So this transpose we already learned in NumPy arrays. Okay, so to change rows into columns and columns into rows, that is called transpose. So data dot T. Okay, so let's run this one. Okay, so the first one, okay, this is the data, right? So we use columns, we have only name and then only physics marks, right? So the first one is index. So it displays the index 0 to 6. And then the step value is 1. So the columns we have name and then physics. These are all the column values. Access, it displays both row index and then the column. Okay, and data type. So name, for name it is object since it is a string, and physics it is a number, it displays the integer. Okay, and then whole thing is an object. Okay, it returns a data frame itself. So that is an object. And then size is 12. So how many records we have? 2, 6. Right, so 6 into 2, totally 12 values are there. And then shape is 6 by 2, 6 rows and then 2 columns. So what are the values? So it displays the values, name with the mark. And then empty, false. And displays dimension, it is 2 dimension. Okay, so this is a single dimension array. As we have rows and columns, it displays 2 dimension. And then transpose, it just converts rows into columns. So you can see it here. Okay, so the whole complete data frame is not displayed because the size is not, this console size is not fit to display all the records, right? So that's what we have used set option here. Okay, set option is another method, and we have to use display max rows is none, display max columns is none. Okay, so if you specify none, maximum rows and the maximum columns will be taken. Now we can see the transpose, it displays all the values. Okay, name and then physics. So you can see the rows are taken into columns now, and columns are taken into rows. So the complete record is displayed. Okay, so you have to use the set option method to display the whole record, right? Okay, so that's all about today's class. So we have seen how to read from CSV file and text file. Okay, how to create data frame using the CSV and then text file, and we have seen some of the attributes. So in the next class we will see how to access each element in the data frame. Thank you.